I would like to follow with something else we spoke about last week because we're faced with so much negative, and you mentioned that it has to be balanced out. And a few of the other things you mentioned was you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want? Make time for yourself and set priorities. And a lot of times, I know at one time it was hard for me to do that, but I've been able to figure out a way to do it. So we have to be mindful that we're going to have to set aside time to decide how we're going to do this, and that's really going to help us to be able to balance out the positive and the negative because the two go together. So I appreciate learning that last week as well. I'm going to welcome some more people in chat. We have, thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. For those that are just coming in, we'd like to welcome you to Let's Talk. And our guest today is Reverend Dr. Sheryn Todd-El Bey. And we thank her for taking time out of her busy schedule to be here. In chat, we have my dear friend and millions friend, Mr. Alfo from the Alfo Show, aired Saturdays at 3 p.m., and he continues on Truth Works with Ms. Janice Graham at 4 p.m. Please join his show. He talks about politics and other things, and he's real heavy with his conversation, so please feel free to join him. We have Doc Don. Thank you for being here, Alpha. Thank you, Doc Don. Miss India DeClaire, my mentor. Her show is on Monday through Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Every time that I give you will be Eastern Time. Please be mindful of that. And her show is also about politics and other subjects. She has sports that she does every Friday with Steins, Mr. Aficionado. And it's a really, really good show that comes on. And I believe she also included a poetry session in parts of her show during the week. So please check her out. I listen to her every day at work, and when I'm here on Saturdays or in my car, I'm on the phone listening all the time. So that's the India DeClaire show on Blog Talk Radio. And we have Lion's Den. Appreciate you being here. And YJ, my co-host, who's also on the phone. Thank you all for being here. And again, we appreciate Dr. Sheryn Todd-El Bey. And we have 3 callers on the phone, so we appreciate you all listening in, those that are listening on demand, and also those who are streaming. And I did send out a tweet, so if there's anyone listening out in tweet, we appreciate all the support that you're providing to us. Okay, Dr. Sheryn, if you'd like to continue. YJ, right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, all right. And I'd like to welcome one other person in chat, Cal Living, or Callis, I don't know, CA Living, pardon me. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. I'm sorry, Dr. Sheryn Todd. Please go ahead.
All right, that's quite all right. I just wanted to, you used the word negative. There's so much negative going on now. And I just want to reiterate what we talked about scientifically with the word negative and positive. Speaking of this masculine, feminine energy, the male and the female, the god and the goddess. But we have, scientifically, we know that there are 2 poles that have to be honored in science and in creation, and those are the negative pole and the positive pole. The positive pole is the masculine pole, and the negative pole is the feminine. And without these, there can be no energy or nothing happening in creation. Now, the positive meaning that not that it's good or better than the negative, but just that it is the masculine penetrating force. And the negative being the feminine or subtle and receptive force. And in order to create those forces must balance themselves working together. They are part of the same energy, but to make them alive, the opposites have to attract. And so, and then combine to, for whatever purpose is intended. So coming from that, in the Vedic or Hindu system, that is called yin and yang. And so we have taken the negative to being bad and the positive to being good. So I have to think about, there's another term that we can use now to talk about what is not good for us. But a lot of times when I'm sharing this information, I just like to correct that negative is not it doesn't really mean bad. It is the feminine aspect of creation, and scientifically. And so I explained last week how when we have ions, that's down to the molecule, past the molecule in creation, we have negative and positive ions. The negative ions are found in life-giving forces like forests, the mists that you find in the forest, and waterfalls, and when you take a deep breath and it's clean and it's healthy, that health is coming from the negative ions in the environment. And when you have positive ions in the environment, those are ions that are coming from forces that are not conducive to our health. Gas fumes, pollution in the air, anything that chokes you out and causes you to be ill or not be able to be at ease or ill at ease is referred to as a positive. It comes from a positive ion. So a lot of times when we're talking, if we don't have a clear understanding of what is conducive to our health and not, we will often use terms like negative to refer to something that is not really negative. And so that's one clarification and one term that we should kind of think about and find out how to utilize other terms when we're trying to speak of something that is not conducive to our highest and best. And I don't know why the word is not coming to me right now. But understanding the poles, that our subconscious is our feminine consciousness, and it is subtle, receptive. This is where we have our emotions, and we have our thoughts and our hopes and wishes. This is the subtle, receptive parts of ourselves that it is amendable to suggestion. And the subconscious reads symbols. That's why in our ancient history, we had our language was symbols and not necessarily letters or words. Now, when we think about the masculine parts of ourselves, we're thinking about our mind or our intellect, our reasoning faculties. So we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. And the first thing to do in order to come into balance with ourselves is to acknowledge that we have those poles and they're there for a reason, and allow them to work together, to blend, to come into atonement with each other. If we start to just do that, we would find more balance in the world outside. Any comments about that or questions?
Thank you so much. If anyone has a question, please feel free to call 1-347-857-4296, or if you have a comment. Alpha, Mr. Alpha, He's making me laugh. YJ, I think he wants to hear a comment or a question from you. I know you're quiet, but Alpha wants to hear something from you. So if you could make a comment or think of a question, it would make him stop having me.
Okay, my comment is for Alpha to call in and ask a question.
Okay, Alpha, he gave you a challenge, so please call in. We would like to hear your voice on the phone. You know, we love that anyway, so please take a moment and give us a call, Alpha. We would appreciate that. I have a funny bone, and he's making me use it. So I'd like to thank our guest again in chat, Alpha, Cal Living, Doc Don, House Music, India Declare, Lion's Den, and YJ. And we have 3 callers on the phone. So we appreciate everyone being here. Thank you so much. I did have a question, but Alpha made me forget what I was going to ask you. So Alpha, please call in, because now you took my thought away. And Indy, if you have a question or a comment, please feel free to call in. We'd like to hear from you as well. I know you have a busy schedule and you like to take this time out to just meditate and listen. So if either one of you would give us a call. Doc Don, you're a good person too that we'd like to hear from. So please give us a call if you can. I would just say I'm enjoying the show and the education I'm receiving, and I definitely plan on putting it to use in my day-to-day life. So, Dr. Sheryn, I appreciate that.